All right, we're going to pick up where we left off from the second part of the video. Again, if you ain't catch the first part or the second part, just scroll down, click, get caught up, come right back. All right, let's get into it.
You know, fighters in the 80s, there were some, I don't know, they were just very, that's what the 80s was, in your face. 80s were
Yeah.
in your face. And that's how the fighters were. We were just in everybody's face.
And that's also why that era of boxing was more exciting. They were more in your face. And the fact that Jermall brought up social media, social media makes it even more easier for the fighters of today to do with the fighters of yesteryears had to work real hard to do. You know, social media has put everything on steroids, including antagonizing and bullying. You know, they tell you this growing up nowadays, it's hard being a kid in this social media era because you can get bullied eternally forever and it can be immortalized right here on the internet. This is why what you say and what you do is even more potent now because it literally can live forever. Whether you lose gracefully, win gracefully, lose shamefully, win shamefully. It's all here for our grandkids, kids to come back and they're going to see it with more detail.
It wasn't no social media.
Right. Right.
You had to really go out and bite somebody ear off for the whole world.
Yeah,
like,
that's real
like
talk,
you really
though.
had to grind like that.
That's real talk, man.
Right.
But it was sincere. It wasn't something rehearsed.
How much more longer you want to box? You what, 31?
Until I get all the belts. Like Mike said, like that's
what I'm
like
saying.
like a
What
boxing
you want to
mentality.
What is it that you want to accomplish in this? You want all the belts.
I want all the belts. I want to be classified as like one of the best fighters of my era, in my division for sure.
Yeah.
And want to go down in history as one of the best twins that ever laced up a pair of boxing gloves.
That's almost virtually impossible with Jermall Charlo's resume. If you want to be in boxing till you collect all the belts, then what are you waiting for? Because we see what your brother doing. You know, he one belt away. Okay? So what is Jermall Charlo's excuse? It's not true, Jermall. It's not. Actions speak louder than words at the end of the day. Your actions show what you saying Brandon Adams is a legacy fight, that you're not looking to be the best boxer in your era or the best twin that laced up a pair of gloves and all that stuff. Your body of work shows and prove that that's not what you about. And if that is the case, you'd have fought Daniel Jacobs. If that is the case, you wouldn't be trying to downplay Benavidez. If that was the case, you would have iced out Demetrius Andre. I understand that you're not going to get the Canelos and the Triple Gs and all that stuff because how boxing is set up, you know, it's designed to keep certain people in high praises and give them credit for doing half the shit that the people who came before them did. We understand that, but it's no excuse for all these other bodies that's laying around that could help build your legacy. If you just waiting around for Canelo, just beating Canelo is not going to put you there. You know, and for those who are seasoned in the sport, truthfully, they already know that Canelo is not the best fighter in boxing. So beating Canelo's been beat 3 times. Some people even say 4 times, you know, already. So there's really nothing to take away from there. Okay, you beat a guy who was basically getting favoritism from the judges, from the WBC, the guy who basically created the franchise belt. That's not saying anything. Now, getting out there doing what he's afraid to do, that's saying something.
Today, that's what we looking for. We want all the belts. Getting it set up. At a time, it started getting a little different. Like, you had a Mexican fighter, Russian fighter, then a black fighter.
They all gotta take
They
it,
all
man.
got to get it, but
That's even more.
it's all about marketing though now, Mike.
What's better than to watch a Russian fighter fight a black American fighter? What's harder than anything?
What's harder than making GGG and Jermall Charlo?
Triple G?
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't want to fight you. That's the only reason the fight's not happening.
But I thought you said that can't.
No, you got to say,
right.
listen,
So
you're
now
a coward.
confusing me,
Tell
Mike.
everybody right now that you don't want to fight me. Say I want to fight you. Tell everybody right now you don't want to fight me because the fight, you got to know how to get in that
That's
skin.
marketing. That's all the marketing strategy. But sometimes it'll like, you can scare the promoter off.
Mike sat up there and told him. He said, "You're a character. Now go ahead and tell him that this dude is scared of you and he doesn't want to fight you." How many times do I talk about character and how important that is in selling yourself? And he's sitting up there talking about, "Yeah, man, that's all about marketing, man." Man, all these damn lame ass excuses of why he can't get something made and something like that. But this is the thing. Daniel Jacobs wanted to fight you. So what happened to that?
Scare the fighter off.
If I didn't scare promoter off, I was a promoter's dream.
Yeah, because you had a bigger draw behind you. Like, everybody come to see Mike Tyson.
Everybody knows you too.
You
nigga.
had 50, with
But
like
listen,
50 first round
hey, listen, you live in the era of just cameras, man. Everybody knows the hell you
Everybody
are.
know you.
When I was champ of the world, in 1986, more people know who you are than knew who I was when I was in champ in 1986.
Mike Tyson just told him more people know you now than they knew me back in the day. Whatever date did he say? So what he's saying in a nutshell, you fight in an era where it's more easy for you to succeed than it was for me. So basically, in a nutshell, what's your problem? Oh, you could scare the promoter off. And he said, I ain't scared promoters off. I was a promoter's dream. Now, if anybody scared some promoters off, it was Mike Tyson crazy ass. But he still did well. Everything Mike telling him is the truth. And all Jermall Charlo keep doing is keep pushing back. Because he know that he really doesn't have a logical excuse where he's at. Because at this point, he looks like a lazy dude who didn't try.
You want to say any messages to anybody in particular?
You know what, Mike? I got something to say, man.
Oh, this is gonna
Man, I
be
want to
beautiful.
fight the best in the world. Where the best in the world at? Come on. Is time running out? I'm getting a little anxious. It's time to go. It's time to get in there with the big boys in the sport. They know who they are.
That was not convincing in the least. That's one of the weakest call-outs I ever heard. And who are you talking about? Who in the hell are you talking about, man? Man, Charlo don't want no work, y'all. He don't want no work. You could tell. Look at this body language. Look at him laughing and smiling. This ain't a joke. You said time running out. You damn right it's running out. You 30 and something fights and nothing to show for it. All right.
Well,
They know who they are.
But you can help everybody else figure out who else.
Sign the contract, Mike.
I wish I
Sign the
could.
contract.
Is there anybody else in particular? No one else. Okay, just okay.
Man, whoever, if you got a belt, I want it. You in my way, I want to get you out of my way.
All right, Paul, do you have anything to say? Any counter reaction to?
He said their name.
Okay.
He said who he wanted.
Mike, you said for me.
And that's where we gonna end this, because this crap is just pathetic. Now he want Mike Tyson to call out people for him. But when Mike was doing that, he was talking about, Mike, you instigating. It ain't like that no more, Mike. You can scare the promoter off. He had an opportunity. You know what? Hot boxing with Mike is a really big platform. What Mike Tyson was trying to do was throw him a bone, So if you got a hard time with promotion and people don't know who you are, this was a perfect opportunity on my podcast to put out there to the world what you wanted to do and what exactly that you wanted to accomplish. You're going to reach more people on my podcast than your own YouTube or anything else that you're doing. And if you know anything about PBC fighters, they really don't do too much no interviews outside of what they're licensed to do. But we're going to get into that in another video. But, he had the opportunity to really seize the moment and take advantage on being on there with hot boxing with Mike Tyson. The whole world knows Mike Tyson. The whole world loves and is fascinated with Mike Tyson. That was his opportunity to get his message out there, to make it clear, to put some pressure on some fighters, to get some things known and get some things understood. The people are ducking him. The people are scared. But instead, he was meek, didn't want to say anything, laughed the whole time, got mad at Mike Tyson because he thought he was instigating, came up with excuses why he can't make fights. This was a total wasted opportunity by Jermall Charlo. And after this interview right here, he need to retire because this is a damn shame. Bruce Vane, I'm out.
Anybody that think they can fight and they're the best in the world, Mr. Charlo would like to fight them.
Come fuck with me.
Thanks for the joke.